So wherever you are, is it normal to raise your kids according to your culture, where you came from? Yeah, anywhere you came from in Africa or your own country, your culture. Every country have their own cultural behaviors. Every country have their own way of doing things, their way of doing things in their country. Every country in the world, every country in the world have the way of doing things in their own country, in their own where they came from, where they were originated from. It's an origin. If anybody want to ask me now, where are you from? I will say I'm from Africa. We're in Africa, Nigeria, because Africa country are a large continent. We're in Africa, Nigeria. Oh, something Nigeria. Even in America here, people can identify us by our names. Our names. They can identify Nigeria by their names. So, and people believe when they see some other culture like Nigeria, other Africa, they knew how what your character will be. Some people know where what your character will be. You don't need to tell them where you from. They will see it in your identity. Identity means the way you behave, the way you talk to people, the way you approach people, your personality, your behaviors. You cannot even expect somebody that was brought up in Africa. You can't compare any child nurtured, being brought up in Nigeria and to a child being brought up in a Western world. The difference is clear. You can never compare their behavior, their character together. Because you don't have to blame any child being nurtured here, born in a Western world, to a children being born back home in Nigeria. That will be a different because we were raised in hard time. You know, when you are raising a children with a tough time, a tough. But the way we were being raised back home, they call it abuse in the Western world. Yeah, they call it abuse because our parents, our mother, our father, they don't see it as an abuse. They believe you have to be trained. You have to in that manner because by the time you grow old, by the time you were old, it will be late. You will never listen to instruction no more. But when a baby, let me tell you the age we started teaching us immoral behaviors in Nigeria, in Africa. In Nigeria, they can I don't want to use some words here because of YouTube policy. They will just tap you, tap a 1 year old, tap like this. She will cry. The moment you tap a 1 year old, he knew her mom and father never wanted her or him to do that thing again. She will never, she won't dare try and do that because she will get more than that. So the way we were being nurtured, being trained, being our culture is an abuse in the Western world. But Western world see our culture as an abuse, but it is never an abuse. Yeah, the culture we've been given in Africa, they will see it in Western world as an abuse because when you train your child, when you train your child, you are going to have a peace of mind in the future when you grow old. Imagine yourself never train your kids. There will be a time you will get older. You have no energy. You have no stress to handle some kind of situation because you are getting old. But when you train your child with your own culture, your own moral and behavior, forget about being in a Western world. Forget about being given back to him or her in a Western world. You still have a culture like your identity that brought you, came came with you here wherever you are, because your mother, your father never trained you that way. The way they train you is is a nice behavior, because that's why you are being in a Western world. Listen to, oh, thank you, thanks for coming, Prince TV. God bless you. Thank you so very much. So when you train your kids, you are not just training your kids. Forget about Western world, London, America, other Western country. You are giving yourself a peace of mind. Imagine being giving yourself fear. Only God know what she's doing now. Only God know what he's doing now. Because you never train him or her with your own culture. Because your mother, your father give you a training. That is where you give them a peace of mind. They were in Nigeria, they never think about what will be doing in America, because they knew they train you. They knew they have a peace of mind. They knew you will never come back and give them a shame. In my country, they call something in my country, they will tell you something like, èmi ò ní borúkọ bàbá mi jẹ́ níbikíbi tí máa lọ. Because they believe that you go to spoil the family's name when you tag them. Thanks so much, James. When you tag them. Let me give you example. When my mommy and my dad was alive, they died. My mom, my dad will never say a word. When you are going to have admission in higher institution, the only sentence my daddy will tell you, and my mommy will give you, one second, sometimes talking is kind of job, and we don't pay for this. Guys, we should be paying for talking sef, because it's like helping other people out there. Okay, if you have an admission, your mother is not going to institution with you, is not going to college with you, she's not. Oh, let me read the comments. Oh, Prince TV said, I raised my fourth child outside my country. She find it hard to cope with others when went home to visit my parents. Yeah, yeah. She find it so hard. Yeah. It is good to raise your kids with your culture in a little bit. You have to sometimes you have to introduce your culture. Introduce your culture a little bit. Oh, they don't do it that way. And your child will say, Mom, okay, they don't do it that way. You are not going to introduce your culture in a hard way, because if you think you can raise your kids in Western world the way you were being raised, you end up find yourself blamed, because this is the country is different from where you were coming from. Because if you think you can be too harsh to them, they might think you are being abused. She might call police for you. He might call police for you, because that is the way they were being taught in the school. And I don't think his training is spoiled. It's like spoiling these kids, because sometimes that's something that they shouldn't be intervened. They should not intervene with the way you are being treated home, because because you are you have your kids, you are the one that wanted him or to be good in future, wanted him or her to give you a peace of mind, but you will have to, let's say you want to build house. When you want to build house, you knew the type of house you are trying to build. You want the way you wanted your house to look good. So it's the same thing like kids. The way you wanted her in future is in your hand and God, because you are the one building him or building her to put him or her straight, put her the way it should go. No, don't do this. No, you don't talk back on elders. No, you don't you don't respond and reply elders when elders are trying to control or correct you for something you did wrong. So next time she will never respond to you when you are trying to control him or her, and put her straight, because you have already give her a warning that next time I'm talking to you, don't say a word, don't respond to me whenever I ask you. Don't talk upon my words. Don't I shouldn't be talking to you and you'll be talking back to me. It is disrespectful in Africa. Yeah, Miss Coco. Oh, your daughter, okay. So when you were talking to your parents in Nigeria, our parents, you dare not talk back. You are in soup. You can't even look at their eyes. You have to look down. You have to look down and put your hand at your back. You can't even look at their face, because by looking at your parent, your mother, your father, when they were telling you what to do, right, it is like they think it's like you are disrespecting them. Looking into their eyes, they are trying to put fears in you. Yeah, that is why if you see African child trained back home, you there's a way she's going to do her job in the Western world. It's going to be different the way any child born in the Western world do her job. An African child always be respected. It is not that they don't know the right thing to do. No, they learn to respect others. They have a good personality. They honor elders. They are so caring. Let me comment. Yemi said, thank you so very much. I'm not going to stay longer, but this is a very nice and amazing topic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very nice and sensitive topic, because a lot of people home, they are going through, but they don't know the way to do it. They don't know how to do it. But it's not there's nothing bad in that. When you Wherever you are, you have to raise your child. But all depend on you. How you have to introduce your culture into the way you were trying to raise him or her. Because when you introduce your own culture, it will help you have a peace of mind. It will even help him or her amongst his or her friend in school. She might go to school and tell any of her friend of his friend that do something wrong. She will actually it will be like orientation, like motivational, like you don't do that. Mommy tell me I shouldn't do that. My mommy will not like it. My mommy find me doing this. So the other kids might change because she is a good example. Let's say somebody go to college now, high school, and some of his mates is smoking, do some things. When you raise him or her in your culture, in a manner that you were being raised, that you don't do this, it is not good, and she listen to you. If she go to school and see any of his or her mate doing something wrong, she can be of help to other students and try to caution them, put them straight, and tell them you can't do this. My mommy doesn't like it. I won't do this with you. Don't you know it's not good? Don't let us do this. My mommy will not want to see me doing this. So the other kids might stop. Thank you guys. So the other kids might stop because you your kids are not trying to mingle with bad eggs. But because you raise him or her in a way you were being raised, you can't raise him or her the way you were being raised in the Western world if you don't want to be locked up. But there's a way you have to introduce your culture in a little way, because you can never introduce your culture a full training they gave you when you were back home. Because if you do that, you'll be locked up, because they will change it to you as an abuse if you think you are abusing your kids. But there's a way you have to introduce your culture and tell these little kids the way it should be done, in a peaceful way, like a calming manner, trying to be calm and jokingly put him or her straight the way it should be done. It is not that you have to be harsh and try to impose that. No, 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 no. Like the way they used to shout at us, Nigeria, all those things, but you always shaking like this. Sometimes the way they train us back home, it is too harsh to the extent that you might have something that you might wanted to tell your parents, because we fear them so much. We will not be able to say our mind. We are not so courageous, like bold to face our mother and father back home because of the way we are being trained. They train us to the extent that we are so, we fear them. Before they say A, we know what they mean. They don't even need to say something to us before we know our parent is trying to pass a message. There's a way they talk to us because they knew that if you don't listen to this sign, there's a sign they speak to us in Nigeria. Maybe your mommy never wanted to stay in the living room if she have a visitor, or there's something they don't want to talk in front of the kids. Maybe your mommy can just wink, wink his her eyes like this. But the moment you saw your mommy winking her eye, it's passing you a message that you need to leave the living room to give them privacy. Yeah, the moment you see your mommy winking, blinking like this, that means she's trying to pass you a message. You know what she mean when she blink her eyes. But when your mommy trying to move her leg like this, as a kid, you know what your mommy mean when she move her leg, like trying to hit her leg on the floor. She's trying to pass you a message. Maybe something need to be done. Maybe something need to be arranged. Maybe she wants you to close the door. Maybe she wants you to pack something, maybe food, maybe something that she have already tell you that when I hit my leg like this, when I have visitor, you know what to do, that go right now and pack it for me, lock my door. Or maybe when she blink her eyes, you know your mom is trying to pass a message to you that you need to live wherever you are. They need privacy. So when we have a visitors, when our parents have a visitor back home, as a kid, the next thing you're going to do, leave the room, go to your room. You have to give them space, the privacy to, for their visitors and your mom and your parents. They will have to be the one to call you when they needed you. So they will have to be the one to call you when they needed you. So when our father and our mom is in the living room as African kids, we don't stay in the living room with them. We don't sit down and watch TV with them. In Africa, they call it like you are disrespecting them. Why are you sitting down with them in the living room? You have to give your parents their own privacy because they might need to talk as husband and wife. They might want to discuss about some matter that they don't want you to know about it. So you have to leave and go to your room. When if they needed you, they will be the one to call you. So we need their help. Then you will come from your room. And if your parents called you in Africa, they shouldn't call you one, two, three, four times before you answer. If they call you, like maybe your name is Joy, they have to call you Joy. The next thing you have to tell them that I'll be right there. I'm coming. So they won't be calling you one time, two time, three time. If my mommy called you once and you never answer right away, mommy will tell you, now go back to your room and I'm going to call you again and you have to be answer me. I'm coming. Sometimes I'll be mad. Why? My mom will tell you, are you counting me? Do you want me to call you 5 times or 5 times, 4 times before you come over here? So you have to always be attentively listen when your mommy call you right away. You have to be there for them. That is African discipline. Beautiful wife. God bless you for coming. That is African discipline. So you can still introduce your culture to your kids wherever you are, anywhere you give back to them. It could be America, it could be UK, anywhere in the Western world. Do you know why you have to do that? Because it will give you a peace of mind. You can't introduce your culture when they grow old. You have to start introduce your own culture from the baby, right from the baby, right from, let's say, 6 months, 6 months old. Thank you, beautiful wife. Thank you. Let me say hi to you. Right from 6 months, because in Africa, by 6 months, you're going to be, you by 6 months, you should know when your mommy tell you sit. She shouldn't tell you sit 2 times before you know how to sit. Because 6 month old, we started crying, you know, crying, crying. Because when a child is 6 months, that everything should be well packed, because they can go anywhere. They are so smart and so nervous and like inquisitive, wanted to know what is inside that box, what is over there. So when it's 6 months, they should be cautioned. When you are trying to crawl, crawl mean crawl to go over there, which is not it, which is very, very, it's not even good for you. It can harm you. So when your mommy look at your eyes like this, come back here, the baby need to turn back right away. She must turn back. He must turn back. Maybe she's crying like this. The moment you see your mommy face like this, as African mother, stop, come back here. She will put it to reverse and crawl back. Do you know why? She is trying to introduce is a culture, trying to make her have fear for her mom, for his mom. So whenever she's left alone or is left alone, she knew he or she will not like herself what her mommy will do. So it is so advisable sometimes, anywhere we have our kids, we should introduce our culture. That culture, it is unique, very unique culture, very unique. Because here in America, they call it an abuse. But to us, we don't really see it an abuse in Africa. Because that's a way, because when a child is growing, we're just looking at him, looking at her, believe we are in Western world, you can put us through, you can say nothing, you can correct him or her, you can to train her, put her straight. You are thinking she might call police for you, he might call police for you. A small girl can call police for you when she was a baby. Yeah. And a boy cannot call police for you when he was a baby. Why don't you introduce your culture to her right from the baby? Right from the baby. You have to sit him or her down, call her. There's a different thing they will tell them in school, but there's a different thing you have to tell your kids at home. Look here, I'm your mom, I'm your father. I was never raised with this culture. I'm not trying to abuse you. I am trying to raise you, make you be a good boy, a good girl in the future. I'm trying to train you. I am not trying to abuse you. You will love yourself in the future. You will be praising me the way I'm going to raise you. Why don't you let me raise you like with my culture? My culture is so good, so nice. Will you want to go with me to Africa? Come and see nice weather. Come and see the way our culture is all about. You will see people the way they were behaving in a calming manner, in a respected manner. In fact, you will love it. The moment you go to Nigeria with you or go to African country with you or she go with you, she will see a different culture. She will be impressed. That even speaks a lot about, wow, these are different people entirely. Because some people believe when you trying to train a child, you are trying to abuse him or her. I don't ever think it's an abuse. I don't think so. But some people abuse, do too much. But when you talk to when you talk senses to your kids, it will be of benefit for him or her in the future. It is be of benefit for him or her in the future. And as a mother, as a father, you will be relaxed. You will not have no trouble. You don't have no stress by going to police, having court case, back and front. Because at that age, you should be relaxing and retired. Yeah, that should be the age for you to be retired and sit down, enjoy yourself, enjoy the fruit of your womb. At that moment, no kids shouldn't give you stress and giving you a court case like something like crime. But because that is the age you should be enjoying. Because when you don't do this when you were young, when you have the energy to put him or her straight, thinking because you are in a Western world, thinking because if I'm trying to train my child, she might call police for me, he might call police for me. She's your child. Yeah, he is your child. You give back to him, you give back to her. There's no crime in training your kids. Introduce your culture a little bit into his or her life so that that will really help. When you mix your culture and the Western world culture, these kids will choose which one is better, which one is preferable, which one will give him or her a peace of mind, make him a good boy, a good girl. You can't be your mom, you cannot be talking and you are talking back. Hello, Siwasai. Hello from Germany. I grew up here and my family are from Ghana. God bless you. This topic is very, very sensitive topic and it's a lot is going on in some family. They don't know what to do. Some people are confused. Some people will be regretting, oh God, why did I come to America? I should have stayed home and have my kids back home. Some people say, oh God, why did I come to UK? I should have my kids in Africa and grow up, growing there, training there, train other. That's not it's not a problem when you have a kids anywhere in the world. It all depends on you, the way you train him or her. You have to introduce your culture a little bit. So this baby will choose which culture is the best. Introduce your culture. You can never see some Indian people, they have their culture. The Muslim people have their culture. Muslim, they have their culture. You see some other Chinese people, they have their culture. Do you know what your culture is your identity, your personality, your what speak about you when anybody see you, the way you behave, the way people will see you. Let's say police stop in Nigeria driving. When police if police stop a Nigeria guy, the way a Nigerian guy will approach a policeman will be different. A Nigerian guy that been trained back home, nurtured in Nigeria and came to America. The way he is going to interact with the police will be different with a Nigerian guy that born here and his father and his mother fail to train him with the culture. He will approach the police in a respected manner, in a calm manner. Even the police will say go 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 because it was never argue. It's because it's being trained to respect anyone that's older than you. Anyone it might not be your mom, it might not be your father. As long as if the person is older than you have to respect the person. That is the way we were being taught. It is never that we don't know what to do, we are full, we are an entity, maybe we don't. No, because we respect our culture. Our culture speak for us. Our culture is our identity. Yeah, Ghanaian culture is good too. Yeah. If you have a child going to higher institution in Nigeria, you know you are not going with him or her to college. The only thing Nigerian parent will tell him or her, one word: remember the child of who you are. Remember the child of who you are, whom you are. You know what that means? It speak a lot. If a child is traveling to Western world, the only thing her mom or his mom, his father will tell him or her, if, if you are Muslim, they will give you Quran. If you are Christian, they will give you a Bible, just the word of God. And they will say one word. All African parents know this: remember the child of whom you are. That means I am not going with them with you. You are going to Western world. Your mom is Nigeria, father is Nigeria. Don't call me for trouble. Don't call me for police case. I have no money. I have no money for case. Remember that we have nothing. We have God. So tell me if that kind of child will not behave anywhere she's traveling in the world. Tell me if you know she won't behave or he won't behave. Let me leave comment. You can say we still have our Ghanaian culture. Yes, yes, your culture is your identity. It's in your blood. If you can marry to white, you can marry to any other culture. You should have to introduce your own culture, because your culture help you to get to where you are. Your culture keep you. You will never be locked up. You don't have a crime. You don't have anything. You are free. You have a freedom. You're free because that's your culture. It's the one putting you straight. What you should do, what you shouldn't do. You know this thing. If you do it, you can get into trouble. So your culture will stop you. We're trying to caution you, because the moment you were trying to do something funny, if you remember you where you were coming from, the way you were being taught, the way your mommy trained you, you will stop and don't do it. The mind that will want to make you do something that is funny, your mind, the mind of your culture that your mommy put into your brain will caution you, don't do it. You know it's not good. Don't smoke. It's not good. Don't do a crime. It is not good. My mommy will not like it. My mommy don't want me to get into trouble. That is why you have to introduce your culture into your kids' life wherever they are. Wherever you are, you give back to them in the Western world. Or there's no way you can introduce your culture. You must. You must. You must. If you if you are not born here, there's no way. There's no way you won't introduce your culture. God bless you guys. God bless you. Ah, this is too bold. There's no way you won't introduce your culture. Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about people that was born in Africa and they came over here. So when you were born in Africa and you came over here, when the moment you were 18 years, you were 18 years before you left your country, you must have trained very well with your culture. With your culture, yeah. But when you came over here like 5, 6 years, I don't think you can remember any culture. You will never be trained nobody with no culture. But the moment you were over 18, it's enough for you. You have your freedom. Anywhere you go in the world, you will never forget your culture. The way you were being trained, the way you were being nurtured, the way your parents put you in a proper way. So when you have a kids in the Western world, why don't you introduce your culture to your kids too, so that you can have a peace of mind? You have a peace of mind and you have no trouble. That's not where you'll be talking to your kid and you'll be talking back on you. What? African kids will quiet. Yemi Skoko, can your husband be your culture? Yemi, what do you say? You say, can your husband be your culture? I don't understand. What do you mean by can your husband be your culture? No, you can marry to a white guy. You can marry to any country. You can marry to Ghana. You can marry to Togo. You can marry to Indian, you can marry to Chinese, you can marry to anybody. It doesn't matter who you marry to. But you have to choose which culture you want your kids to choose. Which culture you think give a peace of mind. Which culture you think is going to help you as a mother, as a father. Which culture that will give you a rest of mind when you grow old. You can't imagine when you are old and you get into trouble and they are burdening you, coming to court, coming to so. You should be retired and relax. You know that will not even that even with that said, when you were good, when you get old, when you don't introduce your culture and trying to put him on one straight, it can even send you to where you don't want to go before your time because you cause it. Do you know what they used to say in Africa? They said in my country language, they said in the Bible said a I don't know the English for them, maybe were aya ọmọdé ni were something like that. DC. If Bible even supported that you have to train a child, yeah, you have to because you want to have a peace of mind. You don't want to have give yourself a stress. You know what I mean? You don't want to give yourself a stress. You want to you want to relax when you are retired. There's a age that you need to retire and just wake up, read your Bible, pray to God, eat your food, relax, listen to music, listen to news, then enjoy your life because that is the time for you to start enjoy your life. So when you are supposed to retire with your brain, with your everything, all the stress you go through when you were young, and the small and the kids you never train, when you have the energy, look brought you a problem, putting the some of the stress in your heart, get you it will be you'll be stressed and that will even affect your health. Hold on, guys. See, I need to charge this phone. That will even affect your health. So it's very, 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 very advisable. Very advisable in the Western world if you have your kids trying to introduce your culture. You could be Ghana, you could be Ghanaian, you could be any other country, wherever you came from. You can be French, you can be Chinese, you can be any other country you came from. Just your country, your culture, the way they do things in your country where you came from, the way it should be done. You shouldn't be copying other people's culture because the people or other people's culture, they are being used to the culture. Yeah, yeah, they be used to it. But sometimes it is it is it is not right anyway because you can't be talking to your kids, trying to put your kids right, and she be talking back, and he'll be talking back. He'll be saying some bad words. Even Bible doesn't support it. It is not good because she started when she was a kid. You were looking over it because you were scared she might call police for you. He might call police for you. You just look over it. The moment you talk to like 1 year old and she gave you or he gave you some kind of attitude, you have to stop him or her right away. If you look over it, that means you might think she won't do nothing to me. She will do much something that worse. Let me comment, guys. Hold on. Demis Coco said, there are some things that my parents taught me in the culture, but I don't agree with them. What are the things your parents taught you? Yemi, what are the things? We never said that. I said that some of our culture, some of our culture, you have to introduce a little bit of your culture into your kids. So some of the one that will put him on our street. that will never get you as a parent into trouble in the future. Because imagine when you are supposed to retire, relaxing your brain for the stress you go through when you are young. When you don't need to think about anything than wake up, eat, read your Bible, pray to your God, wake up, eat, enjoy yourself with your family, with your wife or with your husband. And the child you never train brought in problem for you. You have to be going to court, talking about crime, all those things. This thing doesn't started one day. You were watching, you were nurturing when he was a baby, you were watching when he was a baby. You never trying to put him or her straight when he was a baby, until when he grow old it is late. The moment a child is like 14, 15, 16, 17, it is nothing can be changed again. A 1 years old should be caution, should started to be caution when he was even 6 months. Yemis Coco, Yemis Coco. I never say if you can't train your kids with the way you were being trained in Nigeria, because it's very hard. If you try the way they train us in our Western world, they will lock you up. Oh. But that's some of the culture you can introduce to your kids. Like when your father or your mother is talking to you, trying to correct you, put it straight, you don't talk back. Everybody know that. Even your boss in your job, you don't talk back. You have to let your boss in your job say what he got to say or she got to say. Then you say what your boss will ask you. Do you have anything to say? Yeah, you have to wait and allow your boss to finish. Then she will ask you, or he will ask you, do you have anything to say? Then you can say something, but you can't talk over the talk. Say something. Your parent cannot be talking to you and you be talking back. If you try that with Nigerian women, Nigerian parent or Nigerian mother, father, you will get, I don't know what they will do for you. You have to, you know, you are finished. You know that on that night, on that day, only God know where you find yourself. So that one is normal thing to stop a kid talking back at his or her parent. That is what they call them a disrespectful. They are your parents. They are your second God. They brought you to the world. Your father, your mother. When you are talking about that means you don't appreciate them by bringing into the world, to this world. Yeah, you don't appreciate them. Without them, that's you can't be who you are. You won't be born. So that means you are disrespecting God too. That one is you don't have to tell somebody not to talk back on the parents. Do you think that one is culture? I can't call that one a culture. That one is normal because it's common sense. That one is common sense. Whatever your parents is telling you, whether they are right or whether they are wrong, you have the right to keep quiet. It's not about being harsh or being abused. It's not abuse. Even if a police can stop you and try to look to ask for your information, blah blah blah, and you be talking bad on police too. It's like disrespecting the officer, the uniform. It's the same thing. It is the same thing because when you are talking upon talk, talking, that means you don't allow that person to say what he or she got to say. So I don't think that one is like a common sense, which is normal thing to do. Every country knew that you don't talk back on who you called your mother or your father. Yeah. So thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. So, guys, I'm going to end the chat. And any family that's going through that, God will change any kids. God will change and God will restore his or her life. Yeah, because it is good to introduce your culture, be it anywhere you came from. You can be Indian, you can be Chinese, you can be Ghana, you can be anywhere in the world. You met yourself in another country. Forget about the way they do it in that country. Yeah. At home, introduce your culture. In Nigeria, in Africa, those Igbo people, Igbo, because some people Igbo, we have three tribes in Nigeria: Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. Igbo and Hausas, Igbo and Hausas, they don't, they have their own culture too. Their culture. We have different culture in Nigeria. Our culture, Igbo culture, Hausa culture. But they respected their culture. Igbo people. If their kids go to school, do you know what Igbo do? The Igbo people will speak their language to their kids at home. Yeah. But Yoruba, we stopping their kids not to speak Yoruba. Why would you speak Yoruba to your kids? Do you know why? If your kids have two languages, it's very, very good. When your kids have two language, she blessed is blessed. Do you know why? There's something you might not want nobody to know. You will speak your language to him or her. The person behind you, if the person sitting down by you, will know what you are trying to pass to your kids, like a message, like something like secret. So Igbo people always speak their language to their kids at home. So Igbo people, they have opportunity to understand like two languages. So they understand English. Every Igbo children, they can speak Igbo fluently. Fluently. Igbo speak Igbo fluently, very well, very well. And Hausa people too, they speak Hausa very well, very well. Tell me if Hausa parent in a Western world, do you think that Hausa will not train his or her kids very well according to her own culture? Because she will believe her culture or his culture is the best. When her Hausa is speaking Hausa to his kids or her kids at home, she know what she's doing or he know what he's doing. He knew by speaking the culture to the kids, it's going to help him or her a lot. He will introduce or she will introduce the way it should be done in a, by his or her culture to the kids. So the kids will understand the culture, and the way it's going to be behaved, it will be different for a kid that doesn't even understand his or her or father or mother culture. Some kids might not even know where his mommy came from or her mommy came from. He might be thinking it was just other culture, born here. She might not even know his mommy came from Cameroon or Togo or Congo, because they don't even mention that. They don't even introduce culture. They don't even do anything that will show that they are originating from Congo or from other continents. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to end the chat now, guys. This topic very interesting, oh, but I can't I can't continue to talk because I'm tired and I want to eat, and I don't want this life chat to be too long. So if you have anything to say about introducing your culture to your kids, you can leave it on the comment section for me, guys. So I'm going to end the chat. So God bless every one of you that came to support me. I don't even know if you can support me. I just have to talk about this. It's like inspiration. God just brought this topic for me just now. I didn't want to come on live. I just needed to come because the topic just came that I need to talk about it. So if you have anything to say about this topic, uh, leave it on the comment section for me, guys. But I don't want this live to be too long. So I love every one of you guys. God bless you. And let me see how many people came to support me. Wow. God bless you, James. God bless you, Print TV. So Print TV, you came from. Ghana. Where you came from? Print media. Where you came from? Where you came from? Thank you, beautiful wife. Who is the beautiful wife? I'm going to see this beautiful wife. Oh, you are new. Oh, I saw new people today. God bless you, guy. Thank you. Yes, Savage. You are from Germany. You are from Germany. Oh, you are from Ghana. You live in Germany. Yes. So did you introduce Ghana culture to your family? Okay, you have a Ghana culture over there. Yeah. Yeah. Yemi said there's something that my parents taught me in the culture, but I don't agree with them. I know it's not all the culture you have to introduce to your kids, but the one that's going to favor him or her, so that that will the one that will give you a peace of mind. Anywhere she go, anywhere it goes, you'll be relaxed. And if they say that they find your child or your daughter or your son, so you will be bold and say, not my son, not my son. The moment African parents said, not my son, not my daughter, you know what that means? They have confidence. They are bold and confidently say that because they knew the type of child they have. So they will say no. Hmm, that's a mix of some way. It can't be it can't be my son. It can't be my daughter because they know who they know the kind of kids they train, they nurture. They know the way they train him or her. They know the way she was being brought up and was being brought up. So they will boldly, confidently say, it can't be my son. That's a mix of some way. And it's true. It is true. And it is true. So sometimes we need to praise our father and our mother when they were training us, when they were nurturing us, when we were young. We think we were being maltreated. We think it's a kind of abuse. We think they don't like us, but it is for our own good. And in the future, you'll be the one to praise them because they're trying. You don't know anything. You don't see the future, but they saw the future ahead of us. So they knew where you were going. It's not the right place. They will have to put you straight and put you back. They don't want you to go astray. You know, it is very advisable wherever you are. Please try to introduce your culture into training your kids anywhere in the world. That will give you a peace of mind and you will enjoy your retirement age in the life when you were old, and you will reap the fruit of your labor with happiness, with a peace of mind, not with your old age going looking for lawyer for crime, for all sorts of things, stressing your brain when you're already old, when you don't need too much stress no more. It is very advisable, please, anywhere we are, if you have a baby, trying to introduce your culture to your kids. So that will put him or her straight. So guys, I'm going to end my chat now because talking is too stressful, guys. Talking is too stressful. Ah, too stressful to be talking, guys. See you next week. Thank you, guys. God bless you. God bless you.